Well, very pleased to have with us Bob Aylward, Executive Officer of the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, joining us on the program. And, Bob, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Hey, my pleasure. No problem.
And happy birthday to the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit. 54 years celebrated not too long ago.
Very cool, isn't it?
That is very cool. How did the unit get started, Bob?
Well, in 1956, President Eisenhower, who obviously had been a five-star general in World War II, decided that he needed to put together a unit that had a bunch of people that knew lots of stuff about shooting. And the primary reason we were put together was to beat the Soviet Union in international shooting competition. But he wanted a repository of knowledge that could teach shooting, that could do research and development on firearms and ammunitions, that could do everything there was with a shoulder-fired or handheld weapon. And he put the unit together March 1st, 1956. The individual that was essentially one of the big guys that put it together was Lieutenant General Floyd Parks, who was a longtime friend of the president's, and he got with several other officers. And it's kind of magical when the President of the United States says that he wants to put a unit together, how quickly that happens and breaks down the bureaucratic lines of problem making there. So we were put together in 1956. Since that time, we have represented the United States in just about every conflict that has been involving the United States, have represented the United States in all Olympic Games since then, have earned 23 Olympic medals, members of the unit, and we compete in lots of NRA stuff, Camp Perry, regional matches, sectional matches, from rifle, pistol, shotgun, the service rifle, service pistol, and the like. And we're kind of here at Fort Benning, Georgia, have been here since our inception in 1956, and heck, they even pay us to come to work here. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
You know, over the years that we've been on the air, I've been very privileged to be able to talk with some of the athletes in the Army Marksmanship Unit, and it really is incredible how much they give back to the shooting sports community, whether it's out at Camp Perry helping to run the small arms school and introducing people to the competitive shooting sports. We've talked with Olympic competitor John Michael McGrath, who's on the USA shooting team. His training partner is Vince Hancock with the Army Marksmanship Unit. So it's great to see the back and forth and the give and take and the connection that the Army Marksmanship Unit has to civilian shooters as well. As you mentioned, Camp Perry is a huge part of that.
Well, we try to do that. I mean, we get paid by the government, and a lot of our job here is connecting the American public with today's Army. And we do that, the shooters do that, and the gunsmiths do that because they are world-known, I guess you would say, in their particular field of endeavor. So we do work with the Small Arms Firing School. Honestly, can't tell you how many clinics that we do for various schools and Boy Scouts and girls clubs and everything else. But if you look at this, the big United States that we have, the majority of people have never met a soldier, depending on where you live, but the majority of people have never met a soldier. So when we go to the different schools or the different county fairs or the different whatever the thing happens to be, this may be the first time that these young people or old people or intermediate people have ever met a soldier. So it's kind of like Michael Jordan. They ask, Michael, why do you get dressed up in a three-piece suit just to go from your hotel room to the bus to take you to the basketball game? He says, because this may be the only time, just on the time that I leave the hotel to get to the bus, that everybody sees, or some of these people see Michael Jordan for the only time in their life, and I want to leave a good impression on them. So when we go to the clinics and the schools and those sorts of things, what we try to do, the soldiers here, is represent the United States Army, the Marksmanship Unit, a Sessions Command, and show people what it is that their soldiers do, what they look like. We're not a hardcore recruiting organization, but if somebody says, hey, what do you do in the Army? Well, I do whatever it is.
Yeah.
And hopefully down the road they will, if they choose to, join the Army, but we will have at least left an indelible print on them saying, hey, we're good guys here too, and it's a great job to have, and if you would like to join the Army team, we would love to have you. That's what we do.
Well, you guys do a fantastic job, and of course, you know, the soldiers who participate in the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, these individuals are not immune from the putting their lives on the line. You know, I know that there have been members of the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, both prior to joining the unit and after leaving the unit as well. These are guys who are professional soldiers. They may be some of the best shots in the world. They may be world-class athletes, but they're also Army strong. They're also soldiers at the end of the day.
I mean, we have several missions to do. Right now, we have a certain amount of people that are deployed in Afghanistan that are assigned to the Marksmanship Unit, and they are teaching the Afghan National Army and their drill sergeant schools how to shoot better. And hopefully, if we can do our job, we can turn the mission over to the Afghan people. They can defend themselves, and the American soldier can come home just a little bit sooner because all the soldiers did their job. So the rotation has been going on now for over a year here at the unit. We've deployed some 40-something soldiers, which might not sound like very many, but we only have about 95 in the whole unit, over to Afghanistan to help the president in that particular mission over there.
Wow. Well, Bob, give our best to all of the guys in the unit, and happy birthday again to the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, 54 years strong, and look forward to talking to you again about this next year, Bob.
Cool, and we'll try to see you up at Small Arms Firing School at Camp Perry, and your guys do a great job, and look forward to seeing everybody up there.
Thanks again, Bob. Have a great day.
Take care. Thank you.
Bob Aylward, the Executive Officer of the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, joining us here on NRAnews.com.